Alright, hello everybody and welcome on back to Minecraft Musings Oasis Sidetracked. Yeah, we're just gonna keep building on uh, descriptors. Sorry, there you go. Because yeah, I think I want to make this like its own separate, I don't know, maybe its own separate season or something, playlist. Like we could do the Sidetracked playlist, keep this in Oasis too. I don't know. The point is I have a ton of videos, I need to clean out the clutter. I mean, I'm so excited that YouTube allows me to do this, just post tons of stuff. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, I'm either going to have to start paying, making ad revenue, or somehow like making it worth it because they're going to be like, wait, no, you got way too much stuff. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. Like storage is actually pretty cheap nowadays. All right, so kind of checking back in with what we were doing. Um, we're trying to make a farm basically, and this is an outpost. I'm also kind of like trying to retrace my own steps. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, but yeah, we're gonna make a farm. So, and we got a lot of dirt and grass, and we already almost broke our shovel again. So we're gonna need a sustainable and scalable way to operate out here to do stuff. And we're gonna try to build some things. And actually, we aren't even to the place. Have it with me? Yes. And we'll actually do like that. We're gonna go build a little base outpost place up there, but we're gonna fix up this place, which is actually already an existing village. Whoa, that looks pretty cool. I love the new, I think that's the Caves and Cliffs update, making land on average just a little bigger. But then even as I say that, I feel like the more recent updates have also kind of added to making just, well, like that, like just massive hills. Like before it was just kind of a little hilly, kind of, although I say that, but maybe that could have been one of the original. But anyways, my point is this game is continuing to get more awesome just over time. Alright, so actually 32 would make it half a stack long. And we can start running back like that, and then now, yes. So if this was our, the length of our farm, basically, we're just going to build kind of a makeshift. I missed a few there. And I don't think I have the seeds, but, I mean, it doesn't matter. I do have these seeds, so actually let's grow. I mean, I was going to do this like a pumpkin thing, but that's okay, whatever. Nope. And so, right there, I think that every time I see that, I feel like that glitch is like an example of UDP and TCP IP for Internet Protocol types. There's two main types. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a tech lesson real quick here, and then we'll get back to all the world peace stuff. But TCP is where you establish a handshake of sorts, where you send a message or you send a packet saying, "Hey, I'd like to connect," and then the recipient is will answer back, "Oh, hey, I see that you want to connect. Are you ready to connect?" And then it goes back to the person that initiated the communication saying, "Yes, I'm ready to connect, and here come the packets." And that's it. It's a three-way handshake of Internet Protocol. Why do we have an extra one? I feel like I didn't get the very first one down there. How? Was I able to just build it off of the plant? Anyways, there we go. So, anyways, so, and then you have UDP, which is just spray and pray. Like, if they get there, they get there. If not, not my problem. Like, that's quite literally how it seems. Like, it's and that's what you get like Netflix and streaming services on, because if you miss a few packets, then no big deal. Like right there, it must have missed right like where I was at, so then it just kind of dropped the ones around it. But that's why I say it feels like there's a combination of the two, because we established the connection to where it makes a secure connection. Like yes, although that could also be argued to be just in the connection. Anyways, Netflix and streaming services definitely use that. So while you're watching this video on YouTube, you can bet that it's going to be UDP, because that's the spraying. And like, if for whatever reason a packet gets dropped, and they do get dropped, it's a really frequent occurrence. So If they do get dropped, then no harm, no foul. The whole connection doesn't crash and fail. Like it's just like, oh, okay, here's the rest of these packets. Whereas TCP ensures that you get the packets in the order that they're meant for. So every packet, which is a section of information or data passed over a connection, um, a packet will have a number. I mean, if it's TCP, as I say that, if it's packaged it up as meant to be a UDP packet, unless they just do them both. I could see that being a thing, be like, ah, whatever, and then like kind of like how Windows had a 32-bit architecture and a 64-bit, and then if you're using a machine that's 64-bit, you can use 32-bit stuff. That's no problem, but you can't do the other. The same can't be said for a 32-bit architecture. It can't just be like, oh, well, let's actually use this and this for this command when every command is 64-bit, at least as a space holder or like a type. Anyways, that's way off down a rabbit hole, we'll say. But whew, as far as the headway for the world peace, I mean, so far we've got it down to if we were just to fix how we understood Christianity at the base. Like, and not even all of it, just one simple thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I think we never really even addressed that. I talked about the actual words like my blood, or this is my blood, like wine being blood. So ultimately, as a religious thing, wine is religiously protected. Now, wine can easily be classified and lumped together with all alcohol as it is in a law enforcement sense, and a law making sense, is categorized as anything alcoholic. If you drink mead, which is the religious drink of Viking religions and Norse religions, sorry, it's just, and I really am not trying to offend anybody. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned from my years on this earth, it's that you're probably going to end up seeing someone from all sorts of different, cultures and backgrounds and beliefs and things that offend them, things that don't offend them. Um, Specifically, one of my favorite things I ever learned was in Spanish class. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, and I know traveler Spanish or vacation Spanish. But anyways, my Spanish teacher, she told us about how she was in one country in South America where if you stuck your thumb between your first and middle finger and you clench a fist, but you move your thumb down and stick it between there, like I got your nose, which is commonly what we refer to it here, that means good luck in one country. Or wait, no, sorry, hold on. It means F you in one country. It means like, go F yourself, Fazbear, or what have you. It's an adult word, and I'm teaching my own kids to say Fazbear instead of it if they have to. And even then, you don't need to be doing that. You need to be like, because pretending, trying to pretend that they haven't heard it, like they actually both heard it in the daycare times. Oh, we're watching the cat hunt. So both of my kiddos, I got two, a boy and a girl. I won't discuss too much about that because doxing and all that. But at the same time, I'm being watched by my own. Anyway, sorry, I digress. It's that whole layer of protection, like don't do that stuff. Um, Anyways, I digress. But the point is both of my kiddos said the F bomb or knew about the F bomb back in their daycare days. So, and not because my co-parent or I swear all that much. It's just because it just happens. I'm pretty sure I can pinpoint exactly when it happened with me if I was the cause of it. But we talked to each other and we were like, well, we both said it. Like we both thought of times where they could have heard it. Um, Mine was I thought I had just popped a tire and I had fixed that tire, and I actually had to lay down on a nice shirt and all this, and like I laid out like a car blanket and stuff, but changed the tire while I was at work at one place, and so it was a new tire, and I had just gotten it fixed, and then this was like a few days later. I was in the car with my kids coming back from the daycare, and I ran over a piece of metal, and I said, "Oh," I dropped the F bomb. So I said it. And you also got to remember, any kid in any school, they could have older siblings, or their friends could have older siblings. That could be playing Call of Duty, that could be, learning language like this from people all around the world, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's just a thing. So they're going to get exposed to it. And the way I treat it is I say they're adult words. So that's a scalable way to not only absolve myself, because I'm an adult, Like adults are allowed to say it without getting in too much trouble. Now they still get judged by people around them, and I make sure to say that. Like you can't just go around swearing. Like there's still a shock value to it, and even adults saying it would, kind of get in trouble for it. Maybe not like the same amount of trouble as a kid, because, and I also explained to them that a lot of that is they're trying to stamp out the behavior before it ever gets to be a big problem. Like, if you start going around and just disrespecting somebody by saying F you and F this and that, and like, and just starting to really freak people out and just really offend people, and yeah, then it's dangerous. And so, parents are coming together to try to keep that from happening, but at the same time, I don't know. So either way, a scalable solution. So not only does it fix the problem at hand, it fixes it in the future. So if I accidentally say a bad word, and I try not to, because really I'm at a place in my life where I'm not feeling a certain way where I'd want to use that word, every other word in a sentence or something. I'm trying to think of like examples of, well, people do it and people will people. And if you're trying to make sense and justify and like fix a whole people and bring a whole people together, then you also got to kind of think in macro terms, um, like that. So kind of generalizations, I guess. But anyway, so there's a lot of people out there that swear. I love South Park. I love The Simpsons. I love, oh, Simpsons not so much because that was like a TV show thing. But like South Park definitely has a lot of swearing. Um, Rick and Morty, same thing. A lot of swearing and a lot of, and basically a lot of these adult style cartoons, not like pornographic adult cartoons, but you know what I mean, like the actual like comedic ones. They swear. So to be more appealing, to be more marketable, to be better sales in capitalistic America. Now, granted, right there, that could easily be seen as like, oh, anti-American, like, or where you way you could form anti-American ideas. And I know that like pornography is blocked in certain countries. It's blocked in Dubai. I know that. Sorry. He's like, whoa. Someone's like, oh, he tried it. Like, oh, dang. Well, and I got an even more funny story than that. I mean, I'm not admitting it nor denying it, but like, there's an even more funny story underneath that I can only tell my paid subscriber. No, I'm just kidding. That's more of like a thing that once I get a couple other side projects up and going, that'll be okay. But for now, we'll just leave it at that. So, anyways, and for whatever reason, like their throughput can't handle that kind of stuff. And granted, like for us that are born in it, molded by it, thinking about like Bane and Batman now, we've just been around it. I remember I found my first pornographic magazine when I was in first grade. Um, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But my buddy and I basically we made some poor choices when we kind of went into somewhere where we weren't supposed to be, and it wasn't anyone. It wasn't any of our. Okay, it was a shed in the alleyway. There you go. It wasn't our family, is what I was trying to say. Is like, so we have no idea who this person was, and we found their stash and their motorcycle and their porno mag and some beer, and like, and first grade, mind you. So this is America, good old America. But and I do. I love my country. I feel like we've taken Western civilization, which I've studied in a community college class. Not trying to sound a hoity-toity, but like to give you understand. Ah, that's right. I gotta stop saying that. All right, sorry. Right now, I should say I'll post the classes I've taken, the jobs I've worked, and then I'll have to have links. There you go. So if you want to know about all that, you can seek it out. I got to stop saying, because I was watching one of my videos the other day. I was like, why do I say that? Like, that I took a class in that. And I have a friend, yes, I'll still call him a friend, that's pretty upset with me, and that, like, he's so sensitive about college and higher education because of me. And I really don't want that to be the case in anywhere. Like, if I had my way, everybody would be empowered and encouraged to seek out higher education. And a lot of that is the financial barrier. And specifically for me, I should have been. I took a gamble, and it's paid off. I've got a good job now, but ugh, I owe a ton in student loans. That's okay. I mean, we're trying to work that out. It's still manageable. I'll keep paying it off until I don't have to, or maybe pay them all off, whatever. My parents did it. I remember my dad celebrated when they finally paid off his student loans. And granted, he was even a professor in photography down there at UCCS. Yeah, definitely doxing now. Well, anyways, so just my family has been involved in higher education, but we've also been pretty on the lower side of middle class. Like, there was a long time my dad couldn't get a job with a photography focus, and I think he had a geology degree, and ultimately he ended up being a foreman for a gold mine. and like making a lot of money like that. Where am I even going with that? My point is we weren't very well off, and I took a gamble, and I'm gonna be paying for it for a long time. My dad paid for it for a very long time too, but it's good. And now, like in our country, we're trying to, well, never mind what we're trying to do politically, like with what my government's trying to do. Here's what I'm trying to do with even just a few of my friends and colleagues. I'm making like video games on Scratch for kids to play to actually like, learn stuff. And there's already tons of stuff out there. It's just a matter of getting people computers and internet connection. And even that, I'm already, well, I haven't done anything yet. Like, don't think I'm like tooting my horn. And I'm not trying to like brag about any of this. I'm just saying I'm excited because me doing this means anybody can do it, and very easily too. And I will help. I'll give the instructions. I'll make it a replicable plan. You can take it to your town, your city, your country, your whatever. And yeah, sorry, it's starting to get a little cold in here. I gotta turn up the heat. Or maybe I think I might have even turned it off. Like, and it's all snowy here in Colorado, so like, some people out there, their eyes are popping out of their head, like, what? Like, well, you gotta have the heat on. Like, what? Why? And like, no, I have friends that would barbecue in their sandals and t-shirt and shorts in snow. Like, it's not that uncommon. We're pretty weird up here in the mountains. Maybe it's the thin air. I don't know. I was reminiscing with a few of my high school buddies recently too. Like, just like how we just kind of like perfect examples of what not to do as we were kids. Or like, what was it? The meme is like, I'm pretty sure somebody used me as a bad example when I was a kid to their kids or something like that. They said it more eloquently in the meme, but and then a lot of my friends are starting to pop up and be like, yep, yep, yep. I'm like, and yeah, and I come to think about it, a lot of mountain kids, a lot of more small town kids, which, let's be honest, we were bored. So we started exploring like with what we had. I mean, we didn't really have much. Didn't have a movie theater for 3 quarters of the year. We didn't have, and granted, this sounds way preposterous to any non-American. Like, what? Like all these people from South and Central America trying to immigrate up here because they want to see what it's like, and a lot of times they want to bring it back home and help fix up their home. So, because nobody wants to leave their home. I mean, where their family is and friends. Like, so a lot of these. Sorry, that it could get on way on a soapbox about immigration in this country. Because I know a lot of immigrants. I knew a lot of people up in like Leadville actually. Like some of the more harsher places to live actually had a lot of immigrant people. And some undocumented and documented, so technically illegal, which I hate that term. Like, no person should be illegal, especially considering, like, my ancestors most likely didn't do it right. My Irish and German ancestors. And that's kind of another thought. Like, what if some of my German ancestors had to come over here forcefully or through that deal, that paperclip deal? But, anyways, I digress. My point is people are people. And just given what I know and know about history and what I've learned in public school and then community college and later on a university. And I say that, see, there I go again. But it's important to note that we're trying in this country to give free community college. There, geez, I was going to try to say that like 3 or 4 sentences ago. So our government is giving away free college. Now, that's what some people see it as. But basically, there's an incentive to provide a certain amount of college education as part of the standardized, or at least available because already standard education seems like punishment to a lot of people, and I'll tell you why too. Well, actually, let's talk about that real quick. So, if you stumble in public education and you get dragged, and it's horrible, like, there's a lot of instances where, I mean, there's not a lot of, and I think they're getting better about that. They're finding ways to just, like, quickly help somebody out. In fact, yeah, one of my own, well, not doxing too much, but, you know, I've known people that have had to have extra help over the years, and it's a lot less of a thing nowadays than it was back then. And even back then, it was less of a thing because we're continually improving. And sorry, I say that like I'm surprised. That is human nature. We're going to continue to learn and do things better when we can. I mean, there's going to be constraints. Also, these farmers are just going nuts on these seeds. I think these are all carrots too, to be honest. Oh, and you like carrots. Okay. So if we do go gangbusters with planting carrots, which I guess that's another thing. Ooh, I mean, I still plant it to replenish what I take, but so I don't feel too bad about it. And that's one of the problems is we need more people producing food and we need less people producing BS. Like that's money markets especially. And I hate to say it because some of my friends are finance people, bankers. Actually, one of my other people I consider brothers, my brother from Saudi, he's finance. He does finance stuff. So already right there. And this is just starting off. This is going to change drastically when we start harvesting the other stuff. Let's get the seeds actually. We can start doing like a row of melons and then some rows of other stuff. And I see that's some wheat over there. Actually, can we take? No, it's not quite ready. He's probably gonna pounce on it. So, but anyways, being kind of a little far away from where the farmers are and where they work and sleep, there's less of a chance that they'll go over there and start messing with the crops. But up here, like a lot of it looked like that's exactly what they did is they planted all carrots. So even if there were beetroots or yeah, beetroot or wheat or potatoes. I don't think I saw any potatoes here. Anyways, they'll mess that up. They'll start just planting whatever. Ah, huh. Well, let's give them the food. We don't need that. Don't really need that either. Well, huh. Let's go find where I put all those seeds. I think I put them so I didn't have to keep going all the way up there. So, anyways, I like how we started talking about substance abuse, substance use, the war on drugs, religion, um, and then how similar Islam and Christianity is. Like it's been quite the Sunday, and I'm not trying to be sacrilegious or, oh, jeez, look at all this, lots of dead rabbits. Oh, and fun fact, there's a cave called Dead Rabbits up in Buena Vista that we actually used to party at. Yeah, whoa, but um, and it's called Dead Rabbits because it's a two-story cave, like, and there's ladders for humans to climb out, but rabbits can't climb back up. So a lot of times they'll go in there, they'll be hiding from the rain or whatever, or even just trying to make a den, or they'll fall down there, and then they actually like claw at the wall to try to get out. Oh, it's just that'll mess with you. Just that idea of like, you know, oof. And then there's all these dead rabbits next to the wall. So I'm actually just going around and picking that up. We can use it, like, we can cook the meat, we can make leather out of the skins. And that's actually what a lot of the Native Americans did here in America. And actually, that's something worth mentioning. Nyanuki. It's a book that we read when I was in third grade when I lived in Nevada. Yeah, definitely doxing myself now. But my point is we studied Native American culture, and there was a lot of Native American people there, too. Like, there was. mm, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where all the reservations are, because I feel like I know some native proud people here in Fort Collins. Really everywhere too. I had a friend growing up that was part Choctaw Cherokee, I believe. So yeah. In fact, yeah, I dated a girl that she could trace her lineage to, or a woman. Sorry, she was really small. We were the same age, but sorry, you got to be careful these days and what you say and all that stuff. So yeah, sorry, that's a kind of a nod to the politics of Epstein. Like I joke about that with my family on the Facebooks, but really it's a two-factor. And I don't know, I guess we can get into that too. So if you're trying to address malicious activity or malicious behavior, like sorry, connecting it back to cybersecurity, then you could also draw that we need to, well, one, still prosecute people that are doing sexual abuse or sexual acts to minors. Like that still needs to, yeah. But consenting adults, um, bodily autonomy. And so it's been a piggybacked argument, potentially piggybacked argument, for a lot of. Wait, we were looking for seeds. Did we ever get the seeds? No. I think I just looked at them. I was there. Sorry, this is kind of a weird proposal, but it is a proposal at the end of the day. Legalizing consulting or adult sex work or adult, yeah. Wait a minute. Oh no. If I didn't put it there and I didn't put it there, then I put it on the chest on the crafting table over here. Sorry, I forgot about this other spot where we had things. Anyways, jeez. Let's do that there. That. Let's try to throw that away and see if they'll pick it up. No, because they're sleeping. Well, Oh, whatever. We'll garden at night. Anyways, as I talk about like adult sex work, there's even an OnlyFans of a. I had a friend tell me about this that it was this guy that would garden naked, and I guess there's a whole niche. Now that I think about it, that she was saying, "Oh, that's not good." I think someone just threw bread to another one. I think I just saw that. I don't know. Anyways, um, but yeah, that was an OnlyFans page, just naked gardening or something like that. I don't know, but in this country, it is still illegal to do any kind of sexual act, well, for money. I mean, you can, which is kind of weird in this country because I've heard of like people being able to say, well, donations only. Like, I can't accept an actual agreed upon price for doing things like this. But how did they? I don't know. And sorry, that's not from me. It's like someone I know, and like I don't know, but um, no loopholes. And then one such loophole that has a lot of turbulence right now is Epstein Island, and how there's supposedly this whole list. Well, allegedly, and I don't know. I believe there's a list, but I don't know what that list entails. Like, um, so if it means that they were acts from underage persons, then yeah, we need to prosecute them. We need to figure that out. Like, that's not okay. No, and that's one of the big disputes between more Islamic or Arabic type countries is, oh, whoops, um, child brides. I mean, how young is too young to basically like sign away? And even that, as I say that, places that do that and like arranged marriages, and I'm not trying to lump all this and like make them seem evil or anything like that, but rather what people in a certain areas of the world deem appropriate for certain things, like, um, and that's two totally different camps there, of course, too, like child marriage and arranged marriage. But as far as the child marriage, that's more like, you know, ugh, protecting innocence. There we go. That's a better way to put it. Like, we need to protect our kiddos' innocence for as long as we can, and just not, yeah, like that. That is a thing. But let's see. Should we do one row pumpkins, one row watermelon for now? Yeah, answering myself. I gotta kind of rip this up and do some more grass. So, actually, wait. This is one, two, three, four, and I like to leave like a whole row in between for water. Just because I don't have to worry about. Like, you could consolidate space and actually grow crops in between. Sorry, we're talking about some serious stuff here, and I'm like giving gardening tips. Anyways, welcome to Minecraft Musings. No, but basically, malicious activity. Like, if you want to prevent all crime, and I'm talking crimes of passion, crimes of, I mean, alcohol is a pretty big factor for a lot of that, but as far as like sexual assaults and sex crimes, like that stuff, and especially with minors, that is addressed in a few ways. And I think a few potential solutions, or at least things that we could be doing to help prevent that type of crime or that type of malicious behavior would be to legalize adult sex work. And you couldn't just legalize it because that's the problem that we have with legalizing cannabis with a lot of the U.S. Like, yeah, it's legal, so the people that live in those places get to benefit from, how great that is. But um, people that are visiting often get in trouble because there's no bars for cannabis. There's no, it's you got to be sketchy and like doing it in public or wherever. I don't know, possibly getting into trouble. So, anyways, that's a problem that I mean, it's a rather new problem since cannabis was only recently legalized. But then, and then the point of adult sex work is where what you're doing is you're providing a healthier and legal outlet for natural humanistic desires. Now, I'm not justifying it in any way. In fact, it takes a lot of effort to not just say, oh, cut their so-so off and, murder or whatever, like, death sentence. But, there once was a time when I might have said, like, okay, but, this. And the reasoning behind that even is just, I don't know, not understanding that people will people given the right circumstances. So even just saying that, religion. Now, religion shames and forbids a lot of activity, and so because of that, and I just see that on the X app. Most pedophiles or people committing sex acts on minors have a religious background, at least in America. Oh, there's the end of the video. Well, let's finish that thought because that's kind of a big kind of thing to talk about. And it doesn't mean that people outside of religious circles don't commit these crimes too. It's just the majority of them, the crimes are being committed in the church, and specifically the Christian church, specifically like more Baptist, Westboro Baptist, or like the more hardcore sects, if you will, or SECT. Sorry. Um, and yeah, so if we're going to prevent it, we need to understand why it's happening. And so the first step is identifying where is it happening. Well, it's happening over and over and over in white Christian circles. So, anyways, I digress. I'll leave you with that note. Oh, sorry, legalizing adult sex work would allow those same people doing those things because people will people. Let's not pretend that they're orcs. They're not dogs. They're not pigs. I mean, now they're technically pedophiles, but even that, like labeling someone for life, like even if someone did that, I mean, yeah, they should probably get get their legs broke, but alive. Sorry, hold on. Anyways, but fixed, remedied, and so if we legalize that, and we made it socially acceptable for like ethical non-monogamy type situations so their wives don't freak out too, because religious wives and religious marriages are a much bigger thing than non-religious marriages. See, there you go. And sorry, I'm not trying to justify it for them like they're doing a bad thing, but we can prevent it by just slightly tweaking their lifestyles. And then once you get that, you're protecting the children. See, there you go. I want to end on that. We're protecting the children. uh, Ta ta for now. I'll see you in the next one.